Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Eka Puspita. I am an English education student in State Islamic University, Syarif Dayatullah, Jakarta. In this video, I want to share with you a summary of 10 articles that I have read. All of the articles I review here are intended to teachers who teach English as a foreign language. It is also suitable for you who are going to be a teacher and searching for our teaching material. Discussion area of my summary is vocabulary acquisition through digital games. Here are the list of articles that I summarized. The 31st were specifically designed for language learning. This game is not as interesting as the entertainment games, but it is useful for pre-intermediate learners to learn the new vocabularies. The first article is Effects of Using Instructional Video Games on Teaching English Vocabulary to Iranian Pre-Intermediate EFL Learners, written by Hadi Salehi. The general problem is about using multimedia in education is a revolution in learners' learning process. Using language games is going to become the best technique of teaching language skills. This study aims to investigate whether there is any benefit in using IVGs among the Iranian pre-intermediate EFL learners or not. Results show that using IVGs has a significant effect on the learner's vocabulary retention. The second article is Enhancing EFL Adolescent Learners' Vocabulary Acquisition via Online Single-Player Role-Play Games, written by Shen Yu Lin and Yi Hui Kuo. The general problem is the growth of video gaming industries has changed many teachers' curriculum and instruction from face-to-face into digital game-based models, or we call it as DGBL. This study observed 3 8th grade classes use of cool English single-player online RPGs called Ozhai for vocabulary acquisition. The results showed that the participants had significant improvement on their vocabulary performance. They also respond positively to their role-play game learning experience. Next to the third article, it is the effects of mobile game-based learning on Saudi EFL Foundation year students' vocabulary acquisition, written by Amal Abdullah Al-Habshi. The general problem area of this article is about English language skills cannot be practical without learning vocabulary efficiently and practically through effective tools. With the rise of mobile technology over the past few decades, the usage of digital gaming resources in education has increased. This study investigated the impact of MGBL as a tool for vocabulary learning among pre-intermediate foundation year students in Saudi EFL virtual classrooms. So, the result is it is an effective way of facilitating, retaining, and alleviating cognitive load during vocabulary learning. EFL Iranian teachers are therefore recommended to integrate mobile game-based learning into their vocabulary lessons. Now we will move on to articles that use massively multiplayer online video games as a tool to increase English vocabulary. So, the fourth article is Using Online Computer Games in the ELT Classroom, a case study, written by Ioana Vasiledo and Zafiri Makrina. The general idea is there are extra-lexical factors that can either accelerate or decelerate language learning, such as students' previous language experience, their motivation, as well as of social factors regarding the student's level. The purpose of this research was to investigate the effectiveness of computer games in learning English as a foreign language and the extent to which they increase motivation in young students. The data confirm the initial hypothesis that computer games are motivating and effective means of assisting young learners in improving their English vocabulary. Based on the responses that the students of the experimental group provided in the final semi-structured interview and on their performance in the post-test, it was found that computer games were both an enjoyable and effective means of teaching vocabulary in English. The fifth is applying massively multiplayer online games or MMOGs in EFL teaching written by Hazita Azman and Nurul Farhana Dolsaid. The general problem idea is about explorations in the educational potential of computer games in the field of digital-based learning games or DBLGs. The impact of computer-based gaming or online games on language learning have especially been significant. This article explores the use of MMOGs as a type of serious games that have EFL learning potential such as World of Warcraft. It highlights evidence from a case study which investigated the effects of role-playing in MMOGs on communication behaviors among EFL game players. The study claims that MMOGs in particular can facilitate in providing contextualized and authentic language interaction opportunities in English between online multilingual speakers. The sixth article is Readers, Players, and Watchers. EFL Students Vocabulary Acquisition Through Digital Video Games, written by Mohsen Ibrahimzadeh. The general problem idea is about examine vocabulary acquisition through digital video games or DVGs to address the lack of equipment in many Iranian high schools. Game-based consideration might convey a less important role for the teacher or other pedagogical mediations. The present study investigated vocabulary acquisition through a commercial digital video game compared to a traditional pencil and paper treatment. DVGs seem to offer potential for inclusion in educational settings. DVGs should not be considered a replacement for course books, but more of complementary or supplemental activities that could be scaffolded into existing curricula. The seventh article is an online game and the effect of strengthened vocabulary knowledge of EFL students in Indonesian context, written by Juang Kurniawan Shahruzah. The general problem area is about students, especially in junior high school, find difficulties on memorizing English words because they use ineffective strategy. This experimental research aimed at strengthening students' vocabulary knowledge. Teachers are suggested to conduct a fun learning activity that including games. Games can help students to practice their vocabulary proficiency need more practice English language, especially vocabulary. Therefore, teachers are suggested to create and use interesting teaching. The result of this research presents that the use of online game is one of the effective strategies to teach vocabulary for the students in junior high school level. That game can help the students to memorize more vocabulary. The students can memorize more vocabulary and apply it in sentence after thought by using online game. The eighth is teaching English vocabulary to students through online games written by Kati Jacqueline Pintado Peñalosa and Sami Fardo Da. The general problem is to enable students to learn English vocabulary in an innovative way. Teachers must find the most effective method to teach it, such as teaching through digital tools. The objective of this study is focuses on analyzing the impact of using online educational games in comparison to traditional in-class methods to teach English vocabulary to 8th grade students at Mercedes Vaques Korea School. Through a vocabulary retention test, results were obtained showing that students remember a greater amount of vocabulary through traditional methods. However, students remember a greater amount of words accurately with the use of online games. The ninth is improving students' motivation in learning English vocabulary using online games written by Muhammad Sofyan Hadi, Lydiatul Izzah, and Sultan Charaka Adipradana. The general problem area in this article is English as the world language has been dynamically rising throughout this technological advancement era, and many teachers are trying to seek out a new fun way to help students learn English more. This article is a product of a research study conducted and aimed to demonstrate the effect of online games to motivate students in learning English vocabulary. The researcher concluded that using online games can improve students' motivation in learning English vocabulary. It also increases students' confidence. Then the last article, it focuses more about what are the benefits for a student after playing games for a long time. So the 10th article is vocabulary development of EFL young learner after a long peer interaction with video games, written by Slamet Asari. The general problem of this article is the development of online games nowadays is not only for the purpose of entertaining, but it can also be for English learning purposes since English is commonly used as a language of instruction in the games. This present study aims to find out or investigate the interactions and vocabularies learned by EFL learner while playing video games. The data analysis revealed different words EFL students learn from video games interaction as good as vocabulary gains. It included vocabulary support and learning patterns, spontaneous vocabulary interactions, and vocabulary improvement in video games interaction skill. As a result, this research found a potential theory that was implemented unconsciously in the observation of activities. 10 summaries of this vocabulary acquisition have now been completed. I hope this video is useful for all of us. Thank you so much for watching my video. Goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.